In a league defined by elite talent and unforgettable rivalries, only a few defenders have earned the respect of the game's greatest offensive forces. And when LeBron James, a four-time NBA champion, four-time MVP, and arguably the most physically gifted player in basketball history, reveals the one name that gave him consistent headaches, people listen. On the latest episode of the Mind the Game podcast, a hoops-heavy, cerebral show co-hosted with fellow Hall of Famer Steve Nash, LeBron didn't hesitate when asked to name the toughest defender he's ever faced in his 21-year NBA career. His answer? Metta Sandiford-Artest, formerly known as Ron Artest. "Oh my goodness," James said, reflecting with a grin that quickly morphed into seriousness. "Really good with his hands. Laterally was really good. Strong as an ox. Played him in my early years when he was with Indiana. It was challenging for sure. One of the best defenders I've played against." Coming from LeBron, who's seen every conceivable type of defensive scheme and faced virtually every All-NBA defender across 2 decades, that's more than just a compliment. It's a glowing endorsement of a player whose defensive tenacity often bordered on terrifying. Sandiford-Artest may have changed his name over the years, but his identity as a defensive enforcer was never in doubt. He wasn't just strong, he was a human battering ram, the kind of guy who made you think twice before driving to the basket. In his prime, he embodied everything a defender needed to be in the modern NBA: quick enough to stay in front of guards, strong enough to bully forwards, and relentless enough to never back down from the moment. Even Nash, a 2-time MVP and legendary floor general, nodded in agreement. "Solid granite," Nash chimed in during the segment, a statement that landed with the quiet weight of someone who had also lived through the Sandiford-Artest experience. Sandiford-Artest's defensive resume speaks for itself. He was named to 2 NBA All-Defensive First Teams and 2 All-Defensive Second Teams. His crowning achievement came in the 2003-04 season, when he was honored as the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, not coincidentally, during LeBron's rookie campaign. That year, he helped anchor a suffocating Indiana Pacers defense that nearly clawed its way to the NBA Finals. And this wasn't a one-year wonder story. Sandiford-Artest finished top 8 in Defensive Player of the Year, voting 6 different times over his 17-year NBA career. He carved out a reputation as a hard-nosed, no-nonsense stopper who thrived in isolation coverage and didn't shy away from physicality. Whether it was locking down scoring wings or bodying up elite big men, his impact was tangible, on tape and in the minds of his peers. What made him special? According to James, it wasn't just brute strength, it was the combination: quick hands, impeccable footwork, lateral speed, and the kind of unshakable intensity that made you feel his presence every second you were on the court. Before becoming a fan favorite with the Lakers and a key part of their 2010 championship run, Sandiford-Artest earned his defensive stripes with the Indiana Pacers. That's where a young LeBron, still making his way in the league, first ran into the buzzsaw that was Artest, and it left a lasting impression. "Played him in my early years when he was with Indiana," James said. "It was challenging for sure." Let that sink in. LeBron James, a 6'9", 250-pound locomotive with the vision of a point guard and the power of a freight train, had to grind against Metta just to get a bucket. In a league where players often heap praise on each other with a grain of salt, this kind of raw, specific recognition holds a different weight. It's not just nostalgia, it's respect earned in the trenches of playoff wars and regular season slugfests. It's a nod to a player who never backed down, never shied away from contact, and never took a possession off defensively. For a time, Metta Sandiford-Artest was the exact kind of player you hated to go up against, and loved if he was on your team. Sure, his career had its share of controversy, but at his core, Metta was a warrior, one who made life miserable for the league's top scorers. Now, with this latest shout-out from LeBron, his legacy as a premier defender has been further solidified, etched into the memory banks by one of the greatest to ever play the game. So next time you think of elite NBA defenders, don't forget the name, Metta Sandiford-Artest, or as some still call him, Ron Artest, the lockdown artist. Because if LeBron James had to work to get by you, you did something right.